So today we're going to talk about starting here and getting all the way up here. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about my story. Going from a cashier at Burger King to a family nurse practitioner. Basically, I want to encourage you guys. Those of you that are kind of at a crossroads in your life and you're just kind of not sure, what you're going to do, or if you're thinking about getting into the medical field, then I'm going to tell you guys how I did it. So yeah, for those of you that I promised this video, let's get started. Now, I'm not going to talk much about my teenage pregnancy. That would have to be another video because this video will be way too long. But yeah, let's get to it. So basically, I woke up one day. I'm 18 years old. I'm in this apartment and I just woke up. I'll never forget. I woke up and I'm sitting up in bed and I'm thinking, what have I done? Look at my life. I was in this loveless relationship, and I had a 2-year-old daughter. I was 18 years old and I had no money. I was working at Burger King. I was making $3.75 an hour. This was 1996 and I was 18 and I was just thinking, yeah, I have kind of made a mess of my life. So looking around my apartment, I just feel like it was yesterday. I had these flower sheets on my bed and I had a radio and I had a dresser and I had my bed. I didn't have curtains on my windows. I didn't have furniture in my apartment. I had a bed and Alante had a bed, and that was just basically it. And of course I had food and stuff like that, but I just didn't really have furnishings in my apartment and I couldn't afford anything like that at that time. So I woke up and I was just sitting straight up in bed and I was thinking, I think I've made a mess of things of my life, and I have this baby that I need to support, and I want to be a role model for her and a good mom. How can I change things? So I thought, I'm gonna go back to school. I have to change my life. So I basically started taking GED classes, and then after a couple of months I felt like I was prepared to take the GED exam, so I took that and I passed it. And after that I was really proud of myself. I was really proud of myself. I finally did something that, I felt like I was getting myself on the correct path. So after that, Ivy Tech Community College, I went there and I was looking through the classes that they offer, and I decided that the best thing for me to do was to apply for the LPN program, and that's the Licensed Practical Nursing program, because the program was only 12 months and I needed to do something that was not like going to take a long time at that point because I needed money. So you have to do what's best for your life and what will fit into your life. And I knew that for me, going in stages was better because I wasn't some college person without responsibility that could just go to school for 4 years straight and continue to work at Burger King. I couldn't do that. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with working at Burger King, but for myself, I'm just saying from my life with my daughter, and back then making $3.75 an hour, I was not able to really survive off of that much money. But living in Gary, Indiana, and way back then, I was able to pay my rent and everything, but I couldn't do anything much outside of paying my rent and getting food and clothes. So basically, when I went to apply for the LPN program, I needed to take the PSB exam, which I took that exam and I failed the judgment part. And I did a video about failing that part of the exam and how I overcame that. So when I talk to you guys about failure and failing exams, been there, done that. At the beginning of my career, you know, stepping out on faith and then failing that test was a real blow to my ego. And yeah, I just picked myself back up like, you know what, I can't quit. Like, what other option do I have? Take it over. So I did that and I passed. And I did the program for 12 months. And before doing the program, there was like 12 months of prereq. So it was about 2 years. After that, I worked as a licensed practical nurse for a while. Now, before working as the licensed practical nurse, the great thing is I was able to work as a certified nursing assistant at an assisted living home throughout the LPN program, because after the first semester in the LPN program, they went ahead and let us take the certified nursing assistant exam, and we passed, because the first semester was basically all of the things certified nursing assistants do: patient care, transfers, and stuff like that. So I was able to work at an assisted living home throughout the LPN program, which brought me more money, and you know, things got a little bit easier for me then. So after a few years as a licensed practical nurse, I knew that I was going to go back. So I went back and I did the ASN program. My choice at that time was the online program offered through Excelsior. And back then, it was not real, you know, it wasn't a real popular thing. I started doing that program right around 2003. So the early 2000s. And back then, online programs were not all the rave. You know, they weren't there wasn't a lot of hype about them. But I felt like it was a good choice for me and for my family. So I did that. Now, let me tell you guys, I was on fire, okay? When you want something out of life and you're like, nothing is going to stop me, let me tell you, they encouraged us to take a test every 3 months. Take one test every 3 months, and then you're prepared. And I took a test every 2 weeks, and I passed it. And I paid for that entire program on my own. Working at an assisted living home, I paid out of pocket for every exam, and I took an exam every 2 weeks, and I passed them all with flying colors. So, you know, I completed that program in a year or less. After taking all of the exams, the most difficult thing in that program that made me feel like it was more difficult than actually just going to class, because at the end of the program, you had to demonstrate your skills. It was called the CPNE, and that is a clinical exam. You're there for a few days at a hospital, and you're basically checked off on all of these different things like IV medication calculations and hanging IVs and patient care. My patient had been thrown off of a horse and almost impaled, and he was in a lot of pain, and I just couldn't believe he was going to be my patient. But I did well. I killed it. They loved me. It all worked out. So after getting my RN or ASN associate's degree, a couple years later, I did the bachelor's degree program at Indiana Wesleyan University. I actually went to class for that one. And then after that, a couple of years ago, I decided to do the master's degree program, and I went to a brick and mortar for the master's degree program in Virginia as well. Wonderful university. And so here I am today. I definitely have furniture, and you know, life is good. And you know, back to the no furniture thing, it's like When you want something really bad, then nothing will stop you. You can fail a test. And you know what? They'll see me every week or whatever the minimum amount of time it takes to pass before you can retest. Every time they'll see me until I pass it. And that's the mentality that I have adopted ever since I woke up that morning and decided that I hated my life, and I decided that I wanted to love my life, and I wanted to be somebody that my daughter could be proud of. My life just started to change when I turned 24. So becoming an LPN at 21, 3 years later at 24 years old, I bought my first house. And I still have the home. I still have that house in Indianapolis. Someone's renting it now, but it's the cutest little house ever. Like, I still love that house so much. But that was my first home. I bought it 13 years ago when I was 24, and I still have it. So do you see how you can start, all the way down here, and then you just inch your way up to the top? It's so possible. And purchasing a home at 24, I was young for my first house, and then my husband and I had this place built like 3 years ago. So you just get your ducks in a row, write your goals down, and start working on them, start knocking them out, because you'll never make it to where you want to go if you never start. So we can say that we're going to start this today and that today and this tomorrow. And if we don't if we don't start, then I don't know. We just may be talking about it for the rest of our lives. And having regrets is painful. I don't want to be 80 or 90 years old thinking I should have. I don't. Ever since I picked myself up and changed everything about my life now, no one can tell me what I can't do. Nobody can, because I know my worth and I know what I can do. And if I put my mind to it, I can do anything. And you can too. And I hope that you guys believe that. I think that you have to act, and you have to change things. And when you see those changes in your life, it just gives you power. It just gives you power to the point where no person on this earth can tell me about myself and what I can't do, and no, because where I came from, I know what's possible in my life, and I want to share the things that I've been through with you guys. And I have so many stories to tell you, but the video can't be that long. So I think, I'm going to kind of stop here and just, that's my story. I did little chunks at a time. Don't think so much about how long something is going to take, how long it's going to take you to reach your goal. Don't think so much about that, because the time is going to pass anyway. And I posted something about that on Instagram and on my Facebook page a few weeks ago. The time is going to pass. So just use your time wisely, enjoy your journey, and you'll get there. You will get there. And if you don't do it today, then next year or the year after, when you would have been graduating, or when you would have maybe had this successful business that you planned on doing, 1 to 2 years later, you're going to wish you had started today. I mean, this even applies to people that want to lose weight. Today you're like, what, I'm going to eat these donuts. It doesn't matter. I'm overweight already, so this donut's not going to matter. It does matter. Every single day matters, because you're getting closer and closer to your goal every day. And if you don't start now, then you're just putting it off. Like, it's going to take longer to reach your goal. So every day matters. And so I hope this helped you guys. And follow me on Snapchat for some real life snapshots, just stuff that I do in my everyday life. And follow me on my YouTube page, Nurse Lada. And if you are a nurse practitioner student, a new nurse practitioner, or a seasoned nurse practitioner, the NP binder group is amazing. So I have a lot of people to accept, like 200, and I'm working on it. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope this touched somebody's heart. And yeah, if you have questions, leave questions below in the comment box. I really love the interactions that I have with you guys. And yeah, I guess I will see you in the next video. I love you guys, and yeah, have a wonderful day. Bye.